Prabhuji.
Yeah, so I will not be able to on my camera now, but I will on it after some time, okay? Because I'm in a place.
All right.
So let's continue. So today, before we start, let me just say my Gana Charam. Oh my Gana Timiranda Sia Ganan Janachalaka Shakshu Ruminitan Yinatasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Mano Visam Stapetanyena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadama Yam Dadati Swapadantikam. Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yukta Padakamanam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupa Sagrajata Sagana Ragunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadhuitam Savadutam Parijana Saitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padasagana Lalita Shri Vishaka Vitamscha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dinabandhu Jagapati Gopisha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostite Tapta Kanchana Gorangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vishabhanu Siti Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vanchaka Prataruvyas Chakipa Sindhu Vyaiva Chapatita Nampa Panevyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shivasari Gaur Bhaktavind Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Oh, we're going to be starting from chapter 10.
Yes, Prabhuji.
So I want someone to give me a summary of what you have learned so far from the previous unit. Nice. 7 to 9. Is it 7 to 9? Yeah, 7 to 9. I want somebody to give me brief summary. Anybody to give me some summary of what we have learned so far? Nobody to say anything? I want something. Say something. Approval, Prabhu. Let me start calling names. Since I'm not hearing anybody speaking, I will start calling names now.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Hare Krishna Prabhu.
I'm not hearing anybody say anything. I have to call names.
Dandava Pranam Prabhu.
Dandava Pranam, how are you?
I'm fine.
Yeah, I said let me call your name so that I want to hear from you.
Okay, Prabhu. Well, from 7, we treated a number of topics. One, let me start from 7:15, where Prabhu mentioned the 3 devotees that are demons, the non-devotees that are demons, that are their knowledge were taken away by illusion. And then he compared it to materialistic people. He said that particular text, 7 text number 15 said, Namadustrit no muda prabhayante manarada ma maya paharta gyan. So he said telling us that all the knowledge one acquired without Krishna consciousness is null and void. So we should try to dovetail whatever we have into Krishna consciousness. Then we move up to, I just want to pick few texts. Then
I'm for summary. So you give me the summarize it for me, yeah. Because one thing about this book is that we should have the picture in our head, you know.
Yeah. So Krishna is everything, and we should everything we are learning should be dovetailed towards him. Then chapter 8 is talking about the attaining the supreme. You know, one has to think of Krishna all the time, so that by the end of his life he will attain it, because Krishna is the supreme. So people who are less privileged by their own information, who are unfortunate, they think of demigods and the other stuff, and by the end of their life they attend such places, you know, the abode, and they enjoy, and later on they'll still come back and suffer. Then chapter number 9, from text 1 is talking about the transcendental knowledge. This knowledge is Krishna is telling that this is the king of all education. And Prabhu was emphasizing that all the knowledge one has is not anything useful except you get to know the king of it all, which is Krishna consciousness. And Prabhupada is saying in the purport that the knowledge, whatever we are doing is joyfully performed when we do a particular thing for Krishna, and Krishna rewards us, and it's not attached to any condition. You can perform it in any ashram you are, you do devotional service, and then you get the ultimate result. But before you do this, we are encouraged to take a look at chapter 9, text 3, telling us that faith is very, very important. That chapter text 3 is talking about those who don't have faith. It says, Ashradadana Purusha Damasya Parantapa Samsara. Those who don't have faith in this part of the vision, they will fall back. They'll come back and continue suffering. So we are encouraged to have faith. Faith is a very fundamental qualification towards every other thing that we are going to attain. And in talking about devotion, where it says in chapter 20, text number 26, that we have to, when we are offering things to Krishna, we should have that proper devotion. You're not just offering flower, leaf, and the water, but the devotion is what matters. If one doesn't have any devotion, he may offer the whole world, and Krishna will refuse it. Also, we are encouraged somewhere in a little bit behind what I'm quoting now, that we should dovetail everything. That is Yukta Vairagya. Everything we do should be properly fixed towards Krishna, so that we attain the ultimate result. And that's all.
Very much. Approval Nimai, Prabhu. You want to? Is it approval Nimai or approval? Sorry, approval, no ordinary approval.
Approval does.
Approval, yes. Thank you. Let me hear from Chitamani. Chitamani, are you there?
Krishna Prabhu.
How are you, Chitamani?
I'm fine, Prabhu. None of that.
All glories to you. What is your takeaway from 7 to 9? I want to hear something from you.
Oh, I don't understand what the Prabhu has been teaching. No.
You don't understand?
I don't understand what he has been teaching since the beginning.
They have not been coming
Who
now.
was taking you?
Madhusudana Vishnu Prabhu.
Madhusudan is
Madhusudana Vishnu. Okay. You don't understand that you were coming to the class every weekend.
No, he doesn't come, Prabhu. He's not regular.
It's not regular.
I want to report him. He's not regular.
Okay.
So please forgive me for doing that.
This program is like, people like that, they value their time so much. And this program is like a free. They don't pay him. They don't give him any action. So you people have to really take it serious for those who are really taking their time to come. We have to be early and come before the time and all those things. It's very good. It's okay. Okay. Chitamani is all right. Thank you. So, because we should have the graphic, picture of all the previous chapters we have studied in our head. That is the only way we can understand. Sorry, I'm traveling. That's why a little bit noisy. I will be in the temple very soon. Then I will be able to open my camera. I don't want to disappoint you people for not coming today. That's why I say, let me just come. At least we can do something today, like kind of intro. Then tomorrow we start proper. Is that okay?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Gorashakti Prabhu, do you want to tell me something?
Okay, Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah.
We dealt with 3 chapters. And,
Okay, the 3 chapters. What do you understand in the 3 chapters?
Yes,
Three
okay, in
chapters.
the 3 chapters, okay, in the first, we heard about the different energies of Sri Krishna. You have the superior energy, the inferior energy, and that the superior energy so constitutes the living entities, and in the living entities we have human beings, animals, even trees. So, and we learn from that the Maya, the energy of Krishna is very powerful. And when we surrender to Krishna, so we'll be able to subdue that energy. And from that, we went to the following chapter, chapter 8, attaining the Supreme, how to attain the Supreme. And from that, we heard that this material world is a world of misery. So when we try our best to attain to the Lord, so we're not coming back in this material world of suffering. And we moved to the next chapter, which deals with confidential knowledge, the secret of knowledge. And then it is the pure knowledge, and that devotional service is done in a very joyful way. And so this devotional service is the secret of knowledge. And in this, we heard that those who worship the demigods will take birth among those demigods. Those who worship Krishna, so will live with Krishna. And in verse 26, Krishna says, when we offer a fruit, water, flower, then we will accept it. So everyone normally can be Krishna conscious. It does not depend on our wealth, on our riches. So that's what I can say I've got from the course. Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Thank you very much, Gorashakti Prabhu. Say one thing about you trying to reverse what you have done is that whatever you are able to say, you keep it for a long time. Okay? Because that is what you are able to remember. So thank you very much. And because this Bhagavad Gita is our scripture, and it's our main book. So we have to really know everything and out of this book. So it's very important. Thank you very much. So we want to take from one last person before we continue. Okay. Who will I call? Because it's like people will not volunteer themselves. Let me call somebody. Ananga Moini. Ananga Moini. Are you hiding there? Ananga Mohini. Can you unmute yourself? Yamasami. Is Yamasami there?
Krishna Prabhuji. Is it my own?
Yeah, is Ananga Mohini there?
Ananga Mohini is on. She's on board, but I don't know if she's active.
Okay, you are the coordinator of the class. So tell me what you have learned from the course from 7 to 9.
Okay, from chapter 7 to 9. The chapter 7 is knowledge of the absolute. So in this place, it describes about the Supreme, and about Krishna, his opulences and everything. And also the four, I think I also learned about the 4 kinds of people that approach Krishna. That I can say I grabbed for the chapter 7. Then the chapter 8 is attaining the Supreme. The chapter 8 is kind of deep. It's different things, different questions that Arjuna has asked Krishna, actually, both Brahma, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. Everything was explained here. So, and also like Prabhu Gunashakti has said, I also grabbed the aspect that not only a specific kind of people can actually approach Krishna, but everyone can actually approach him. No matter the qualification or where you are or what you have, you can still reach him with the little you do. Then the most interesting one was actually the most confidential knowledge, where it has to do with hearing. Prabhu Madhusudan emphasized that this chapter has to do with hearing. So hearing about Krishna, this most confidential knowledge actually explains what our position, what we are supposed to do as a spirit soul, our service to Krishna. We are eternal servants of Krishna. So we should always worship him, hear about him, just concentrate on him, Krishna consciousness, which in the total sum up, it's all about Krishna consciousness, just thinking about Krishna, hearing about Krishna, and so on and so forth. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Just a quick, I want us to just quickly go into the kind of revision before like going to 10. I'm doing this because I want to bring out the connection with the chapter 10. So there's a very nice verse from 7. I love this verse. I don't know about you. We can quickly go through it. You can always use it for your preaching also. Somebody should open to 7:3. Somebody you open it and read it for everyone to hear.
Just the translation, right?
So, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth.
What do you think about that verse?
According to what Prabhupada is saying in the purport, he said there are various grades of men, and out of thousands, one may be sufficiently interested in transcendental realization to try to know what is the self. So this self of 18, chapter 6 of Bhagavad Gita, Prabhupada said this self can mean, he said it can mean 2 things. He said it can mean the mind, it can mean the soul also. Yeah. So I think in this particular text, it's referring to the soul, not the mind. But in chapter 6, it was referring to the mind. So Prabhupada is trying to say out of those people who have this knowledge of the soul. So what Krishna is explaining actually, is out of those people who have this knowledge of the soul, it is hardly for one to know him. Yes. So not all of them who have knowledge of the soul understand him, actually. So I can also take it in another way. You know, in the Vedas, I said there are 3 divisions of the knowledge. We have Savandagyan, Abhidaya, and Prayojana. So it's simply trying to say some have only knowledge of Sabandia Gyan. Yes. They don't have a video about the process and the goal. Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, I'm hearing you. I'm hearing you. Have you finished?
Yes, Prabhu.
Thank you. Approval, Prabhu, what do you think about that?
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, go ahead, Prabhu. What do you think about that verse?
Okay, the verse is very, very important, Prabhu, because it says, out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. He's telling us the difficulty, the level, the high level of devotional life, and the where out of millions, thousands and millions of people, one will endeavor for perfection. It means that this Krishna consciousness is not for the people in general, the general people. There's only those who have performed so many pious credits, who have acquired many pious credits in their previous life, and in this particular life, that their simple activities are not too much, too high. And these people are very few, very, very few. So what I realized there is that
you are trying to connect it to 7-8. Continue.
Yes, Prabhu. Is it not? So
they are trying to connect it to 7:28.
Okay, yeah.
Is it 28?
Okay. Yeah, what I'm trying to see, these things are connected. I'm only trying to talk about it, but they are connected somehow. They have very wide legs. So sometimes we lament that people are not taken to Krishna consciousness, that people are not here, people are not there, and we are very few. So this verse always encourages me that out of many thousands among men, one may endeavor for perfection. And after those people, out of them, the perfected people, hardly one will even know Krishna in truth. So that also explains why sometimes among devotees, sometimes we see people that we think should know very, very high about Krishna, but they seem not to, because they are doing what the scripture says. So we should also recognize that is a process of continuity based on our guna and karma, what we came here to fulfill. So it's very important for us to use it as preachers or future preachers, so that we will be able to assess the society and ourselves and have sympathy for those who are not following, and then appreciate those of us who are following, so that there will be a kind of synergy. So we don't need to go too far into that. Krishna has already said it, because this is his own word. He planned it so that we should know when things are going the other way. We know what the scripture says, and then we will not lament or will not fall back. We know that it's a continuous process. I'm believing that this is not going to be the last time, because somehow when we don't perfect, according to Bhagavad Gita 6:40, saying that the unsuccessful yogis, they will come back and continue the journey. There's no loss or diminution, okay, in the path. So that's what I personally realized, Prabhu. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. Yamasa, your hand is up. Want to say something?
Yes, Prabhu. I want to let me try and say what I understand. In this verse, it says, out of 1,000 men among men, only one may endeavor for perfection. Well, this perfection here, I think he's talking about knowing beyond what we see here in the material world, knowing ourselves, who we are, where we are from, and everything. So that is perfection. And out of those, who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. I think what Krishna is trying to say here is that even though, yes, I think the explanation, I didn't really remember how Prabhu Madhusudan said it, but he said something about a gold shop. He said when you go to a gold shop, there are only few customers there, very few customers. because it is gold. It's something that is real, original, costly.
Yes.
And then when you go to a normal shop where they sell normal steels and stainless and everything, there are many people there because that is common, cheap, and very, very much accessible to everyone. So this perfection is the gold. And even though in that gold shop, there are grades of gold. So, and of those who have achieved perfection, hardly one knows me in truth. This might means that even though they are following, there are many of us who are in this path of transcendence, seeking the absolute truth and everything, but still, only a few of us actually knows who we are and what we are supposed to do. Some people, like the yogis who meditate on Krishna and everything by holding their breaths and other stuff, so that then at the end of the day, they feel like entering into Brahmajyoti is the end of it, like it's the highest perfection. But that's not. Only a real devotee that will actually know that it's not just about entering Brahmajyoti, but they want to know the Supreme Lord himself and also attain service at his lotus feet. Hare Krishna.
Thank you very much. I was able to buy some time to get back to the temple. Thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Welcome back. We are seeing you.
Yeah, actually, I was buying time. And okay, I want to engage you guys to really know. Go people, please. Want to say something?
Having a sufficient space for camera.
Yeah. Prabhu.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji. This verse, yes, this verse is very interesting. Yeah? And out of many thousand among men, one may endeavor for perfection. Then, which means we are very lucky to take to Krishna consciousness. You know, because a lot of people do not want to surrender to Krishna. So, as we are now in Krishna consciousness, I can say that it is a grace. It is grace for us. Very interesting. And from those who are surrendered themselves to Krishna consciousness, we can say that hardly one knows me in truth. One, which means there are a lot of pretenders in our ranks. Some come to Krishna consciousness, but actually they are pretenders. So it is not easy at all then to come to Krishna consciousness in a very true manner. It is we can even make a link or a parallel between this verse and something in the Bible, because in the Bible it is said that the path to the Lord is very narrow, and then there are only few people who go there. So in this verse, we can see that we have to go to Krishna consciousness, you have to be very serious. You have to struggle hard in order to reach there, because it's not easy at all. So I can just yes, okay, fine.
I want somebody to open to 726 also. 726.
Hare Krishna.
You want to read 726?
Yes, Prabhuji. Okay. Oh, Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past. All that is happening.
We're going to go to chapter.
Sorry?
Go ahead, Prabhu.
Okay. So, oh, Arjuna, as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, I know everything that has happened in the past, all that is happening in the present, and all things that are yet to come. I also know all living entities, but me, no one knows. Hare Krishna.
What is the connection between this one and the one of test 3? Somebody want to say? I'm bringing this particular, these two verses because there's some connection,
Hare
In-
Krishna. The
Yeah.
connection is that among in the previous verse, I mean verse 3, then among the thousands of people that come to Krishna, only one among them knows Krishna. But here in the 26th, Krishna said that no one knows him. Okay, that is I mean the connection. Thank you very much, Prabhuji. Hare Krishna.
Yeah.
Krishna Prabhu.
Yeah.
I think this test with the 27, like that 73 now, it's talking about the different types of transcendentalists, like the Gyanis, the yogis, and the bhaktas. So Krishna is trying to tell Arjuna in that test that the Gyanis, the yogis, the fruitive workers, those people cannot understand him. Yes, it's very difficult for them to understand him. The only people who can understand Krishna as he is, are the Supreme Personality of God, are the devotees. So that's why if we tell, like, at times when we go out to preach, yes, when we go to distribute the Prabhupada's book, so when we give some people the book, when they seek that Krishna, they say, what is this? Is this one Krishna? So those people, they're also transcendentalists because they're also striving to serve Krishna. Yeah, so but they cannot understand that personal form of Krishna. It's very difficult for them to conceive. So we had this 27, 26. First, Krishna gave the criteria to know who is God. For anybody to be called God, for any personality to be called God, he must know the past, present, and future. So that is the first thing Krishna explained here. And he went on to say, nobody knows me. So, but the devotees actually know Krishna, actually. Yes. No other person apart from the devotees who are engaged in bhakti can understand Krishna. So that's what I think the point are. So they're talking about different types of transcendentalists. That is the main point. Yes. But only the bhaktas know Krishna. No other transcendentalists can know him in full. Yes, some may know the Brahma aspect, Paramatma, but nobody knows that personality of God himself as Krishna. Hare Krishna Prabhu. That is my little contribution.
Thank you for your contribution. Any other person want to say something? Anybody want to say something more? I'm trying to use my computer actually. I want to hear more comments. Is there any other verse that attracts you, that interests you in chapter 7? Chapter 7 actually is a very wonderful chapter, and chapter 8 also. Especially chapter 8 is very important for devotees. So there's this verse in chapter 8, 8:7.
Yes, Hare Krishna.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes. You spoke about chapter 7. Chapter 7, verse 14 is very interesting to me. I don't know whether I'm mistaken, but there it is said that those who surrender to Krishna, so they are able to subdue the Maya. That's also, it is a verse that has retained my attention a lot.
Okay, thank you. We'll read the verse have you read out the verse for us, no? Let's hear.
Okay. 7:14. Yes, the verse is okay. This divine energy of mind, consisting of the three modes of material nature, is difficult to overcome, but those who have surrendered unto me can easily cross beyond it.
Very good. Very good. That's a very nice verse.
Hare Krishna.
That is a very, very nice one. So Krishna is saying, Devi Isha Gunamayi Mama Maya Duratyaya Ame Baye Prapadyante Maya Metam Durandite. How many of us have memorized that shloka? How many?
Prabhu, you said?
Babu, you want to recite the
Yes,
shloka
Prabhu.
for us without looking the book?
Okay.
Recording in progress.
Okay. Davi Isha Gunamai, Mama Maya Duratya, Mam Ebaye Prapadiante, Mayam Etam Tarantite. This divine energy of mine is difficult to overcome, but those who are surrounded unto me can easily cross over it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you.
You're welcome, Prabhu.
Masami, please, can you make this out my name co-host so that I can share my screen and I can start my class proper.
Okay, Prabhu.
Any other verse that interests you from previous chapters? Any other verse that interests you that you want to share with us?
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Yeah, Prabhu.
Yes, there is the verse 15 also that points out those who do not want to surrender to Krishna.
Yes.
So they are mudas and Maya Paritagyana, and so it is also very interesting.
Very good. So the end of chapter 9. The end of chapter 9 is that now let's come to today's proper, okay? Thank you for staying with us.
Hare Krishna.
So the end of chapter 9 is very, very special shloka that every devotee should. Actually, this shloka is repeated twice in Bhagavad Gita to show the importance of this shloka. Mam mana baba mam bhakto mam yaji mam namaskuru mam evasyasi yuktaivam atmanam matparayanaha. Okay. So translation: engage your mind always in thinking of me, become my devotee, offer obeisance to me, and worship me. Being completely absorbed in me, surely you will come to me. Okay. So this is a very, 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 very special verse in Bhagavad Gita because it's repeated twice. Krishna is saying, Mama Baba Ma Bhaktu Baba. And Prabhupada always quote this verse to show how to become pure devotee of Krishna. You have to always think of Krishna, become devotee of Krishna, pay obeisance to Krishna. Then Krishna started the chapter 10 by, let's go to chapter 10. Okay. Let me share my screen now. Are you hearing me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, Prabhu.
Yes.
Because I'm not seeing my screen actually. So I was just wondering whether you are all hearing me. I'm just speaking to myself.
We can even see you.
Okay, now I can. You can see me?
Yes, Prabhuji.
Yes, I see you. I see you.
Okay, good. Okay, let me share my screen. So this is we're going to enter chapter 10. So the title of chapter 10, what is the title of chapter 10? Someone,
Opulence of the absolute.
opulence. Is Stephen Govinda Prabhu there?
Yes, Prabhu.
Ananga,
Yes,
Yes.
Prabhu.
Ananga
Yes,
Mohini,
I'm
are you
here.
there?
Hare Krishna Prabhu, sorry,
We are doing food
Sorry for
life,
what?
so they called me.
Sorry for what?
I came in and I left because they called me. I have to rush down. We are cooking for food for life. So I did not finish, but in fact, gave me to enter class. They called me, so I went to attend, and now I'm back.
Yeah, are you back now and to be there, or just to sign in and go again for food for life?
No, I am back. I'm back. No problem.
Okay, Stephen Govinda, are you there, or you are just signing in to just go and do something else in the kitchen?
No problem, I'm here.
Oh, so if you are here on your camera, let me see you. I want to see your transcendental face. Normally, you used to on your camera. Are you becoming so advanced now that you become we cannot see your face again? Or what is going, because you're used to only put your camera on, because we are personalists, no? Ananga Moini, let us see you on your camera, then we will know when you run again to go and do food for life. Okay? I will wish that all devotees, as long as you are in this class, try to put your camera on so that we can see you. Tamani, are you there on your camera? Let me see where you are. Very good. After all, when you are in the classroom, you cannot cover your face so that the teacher will not see you. Krishna Bamini, how are you keeping your camera? We are not seeing you properly.
I'm outside and it's not place for me to like.
I think in her area, the network is not good. It's always disturb her classes.
My phone, that's why it stops like this.
Not good, then you can off your camera so that you can have a good network. Okay. It's all right, thank you. Yeah, just for those who can on their camera, it's good that we keep our camera on. So this chapter 10 is the opulence of absolute, is it not? So we're going to hear about the Krishna's opulence. So Krishna started the chapter by telling Arjuna, Shri Bhagavan Uvasha Bhuya Eva Mahabhavo Shrinume Paramam Vachaha Yate Ham Priya Manaya Vakshyami Ita Kamya. Okay, the Supreme Personality of God has said, listen again, Almighty Arjuna, because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further, giving knowledge that is better than what I've already explained. Do we understand what Krishna is saying here? I want somebody, before looking to the purports, I want to hear from you. What is Krishna saying here? I'm looking for some important points. Don't look at the purport yet. Let us think. There's what we call critical thinking in studying. When we are studying, we have to be doing critical thinking. Okay. Let me see how much you are thinking. So tell me, what points? I want to hear from you the point from this verse without going to the purport.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes.
Yeah.
So from this text, I think that I
want you to bring out the most important thing in the verse. Don't look at the purport yet.
Okay. So always there's this connection between the preacher and the hearer. And once you begin to preach and you see that the hearer have more interest, you are you get this compassion to give out more. So I think from this text, Arjuna have shown interest and have subscribed to Krishna. He have actually surrendered to Krishna. So Krishna is eager to pour out more so that he can have the full understanding of his personality and what he is supposed to do in order to.
Thank you very much. I want to hear the most important point in this verse. What is Krishna saying here?
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Prabhu.
Krishna. Hare
Yeah.
Krishna.
Yeah,
So,
Guru Prabhu.
yes, in this verse, there is a link between what Krishna said before and what he's going to say now. Then he wants to give further knowledge to tell something more, I think, more important than what he said before. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. Yes, Chintamani, speak.
Okay. So I think the most important thing Krishna is telling you in this text, that I'm telling you this because you are my very dear friend, and this is similar to what he said in 4, thanks to the transcendental knowledge. After he told Arjuna in I think text 2 of chapter 4 that this knowledge have to be received through the line of discipline section. So he went on to explain those who are qualified to receive this knowledge by telling Arjuna that. Okay, so by telling Arjuna that for a person to understand this knowledge of Bhagavad Gita, either you become a devotee or you become a friend. He said those are the two persons who are qualified to understand knowledge of Bhagavad Gita. So the same thing is what.
That is the point I'm looking for. Yateham Priyamanaya. Krishna is saying, Yateham Priyamanaya. What is the meaning of Yateham Priyamanaya? Somebody want to read?
Yeah, friend, I think so.
Look at the what translation. What is the meaning of that line? Yateham Priyamanaya. Look at that line. Somebody should look at the line and say something. What is the meaning? Yateham Priyamanaya.
Thinking you there to me. That's Priyamanaya.
Can somebody read the full meaning of that word, that line? Yateham Priyamanaya. I mean, you want to say something, but I talk is.
You said because you are dear to me.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu.
Yeah, say something.
I say, because I have considered you to be my best friend, so I shall give you this knowledge.
Thank you. Vakshyami itakamya. I will speak for your benefit. See, when you guys are going to be Bhakti Shastri qualified. You are going to get certificate of Bhakti Shastri very soon. You have to speak you have to be speaking like one who is studying the scripture. Okay, not just come and sit down in the class and just let him finish and I will go. You have to be using the words. When you are giving lecture, you have to learn how to use these words in your lecture. Okay, he say, Yateham Priyamanaya. Krishna is saying, Shinu me parambacha. I'm going to give you knowledge that is even more higher than before. Okay. Why? Why am I giving you this knowledge? Because now I'm convinced, and because you are very dear to me, that you want more. Yateham Priyamanaya. Vakshyami itakamya. I'm going to speak to you. Okay. So the most important thing in this verse I'm looking for is because you are my dear friend, for your benefit, I shall speak to you further. Giving that is better than what I have already given. Okay. Because you are my dear friend. So we have to become Krishna's friend. That is the only way the knowledge of Krishna can be revealed to us. So that is the only way we can hear from Krishna. That is the only way we can connect with Krishna. That is the only way we can serve and go back to Krishna. We have to connect with Krishna, becoming his friends, becoming Krishna's friend. So let's go into the purport. Okay? What Prabhupada say in the purport? You want to read? Who is going to be the first person to read now?
And I'm not fast, so let me try.
No, I'm not saying you should read fast. I mean the fastest person who will start it.
Okay.
First to start.
Purport. The word Bhagavan is explained thus by Parasara Mani. One who
Your voice is very
full
low. It's like you have not eaten. Are you fasting?
No, it's not yet time.
Very good. Now we can hear you.
Okay. The word Bhagavan is explained thus by Parasara Mani, one who is full of 6 opulence, who has full strength, full fame, wealth, knowledge, beauty, renunciation, is Bhagavan, or the Supreme Personality of Godhead. While Krishna was present on this earth, he displayed all 6 opulence. Therefore, great sages, opulences, okay. Therefore, great sages like Parasa Manu have all accepted Krishna as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Now, Krishna is instructing in more confidential knowledge of his opulences and his words and his work. Previously, beginning with the 7th chapter, the Lord has already explained his different energies and how they are acting. Now, in this chapter, he explained his specific opulences to Arjuna. In the previous chapter, he has clearly explained his different energies to establish devotion in firm conviction. Again, in this chapter, he tells Arjuna about his manifestation and various opulences. The more one hears about the Supreme God, the more one becomes fixed in devotional service. One should always hear about the Lord in the association of devotees that will enhance one's devotional service. Discourses in the society of devotees can take place only among those who are really anxious to be in Krishna consciousness. Others cannot take part in such discourses. The Lord clearly tells Arjuna that because Arjuna is very dear to him, for this benefit, such discourse are taking place. Hare Krishna.
Yeah, very nice. So Prabhupada is giving us intro to what we are going to get in chapter 10. Okay, we can see Krishna mentioned few of his opulences in chapter 8, in chapter 7, even 9 also, he mentioned little. But here he's going to give us more knowledge about these opulences, how he pervades everything. He's going to tell us there's a particular verse, some verses in chapter 10, from 8 to 11, which we call to be the root verse of Bhagavad Gita. That is, in these 4 verses, everything you need to know about God are all there. So Krishna is going to mention that only in this chapter, in chapter 10, text 8 to 11. So Krishna, that is why Krishna is telling Arjuna that here in this chapter, I'm going to give you even knowledge that is more higher, because that knowledge in that middle chapter is very, very special. Okay? So only one who is a friend of Krishna, why Krishna is saying here is that, see, before Prabhupada translated this Bhagavad Gita, we have so many Bhagavad Gita in the West, but not only became devotee of Krishna. Okay? They were just interpreting the Bhagavad Gita, they were in their own words. And nobody, like, have bhakti to Krishna or want to worship Krishna or realize that Krishna is the Supreme Person until Prabhupada translated the Bhagavad Gita as it is. And that is why you see in every Prabhupada's purport, you can feel the devotion to Krishna. So this chapter 10, I was trying to go back to chapter 7, 8, 9. Because this middle chapter of Bhagavad Gita, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, they are considered to be the jewel inside the box of Bhagavad Gita. Bhagavad Gita is like it's a very special box. Then you have the covering of the box. So inside the box, you have the jewel itself. this precious jewel that is kept hidden inside that box. So this 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 is considered by Vishwanatha Chakravarti Thakur to be the most important aspect of Bhagavad Gita, where Krishna reveals who he is and tells us about his opulences, like Prabhupada mentioned here. So it's very, very, very important to pay attention to these middle chapters of Bhagavad Gita. If you understand the middle chapter of Bhagavad Gita, you understand everything. Okay? So yeah, Prabhupada is giving us intro how Krishna is going to talk more about all his opulences. And at the end of this chapter, we see Krishna will say, Arjuna, this thing all these my opulences I've given you, they're just like like very little of my opulences. Just imagine, who are we to comprehend that person just by breathing out? Just by breathing, exhalation, by his exhalation, breathing out. The whole creation is existing for millions and trillions of years. Just breathing out. He's breathing out. He just breathe. How long does it take you to breathe out? And take in. When he breathes in, everything goes back into him. This is the person we are talking about. Okay. So, his opulences is inconceivable for us. And that is what Krishna is going to explain to us in this chapter 10. Then in 11, he will physically show Arjuna. He will physically show Arjuna in 11. That is what we call universal form. That is why chapter 11 is universal form. He will physically show Arjuna this opulence he has been describing to him in mouth. I'll be telling you, I'm this, I'm that, I'm this, I'm that, I'm here, I'm this, I'm that, I'm of this, I'm this, of that, I'm this. I'll be telling you. But now Arjuna, see them here. He will show him physically. Then Arjuna will see everything and will say, oh, I was thinking you're my friend before. Please forgive me. I've committed offenses thinking you are my friend. Sometimes I kick you when we're sleeping on the bed. Please forgive me. After showing Krishna, Arjuna will now realize his greatness. This person we are talking about. Then in chapter 12, then Krishna will now tell him about devotional service, how we can be dear to him. If you want to be dear to me, you have to develop these qualities. Krishna will explain that in chapter 12. So I'm just giving the brief summary of what we are going to go through. And so let's go to test 2. So here, Krishna is telling Arjuna that, okay, I'm going to tell you, give him knowledge about myself and about my opulences. Because you're my friend, I'm going to tell you what I've not told you before. But let me tell you one thing. So in test 2, he's going to tell Arjuna that, Arjuna, I'm telling you because you're my friend, though, because even great personality, they cannot even understand me. So let's read test 2. Okay. Somebody want to read? Okay, let me read the shloka. Then we will read the purport. I hope all of you are with me. There's like many people are distracted. Even some people already left self. Why would the Ghana devotees are no more here? You understand me? We are not seeing the Ghana devotees again. What happened? Only Stephen Govina is here.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Sorry for interrupting, but the timing have been inconsistent. So, you have to pay attention to know for some time now. So I think now if the timing becomes stable, many people will come on board.
Okay. Me, I don't change time because the time is okay for me because see where I am now, as I'm talking to you, we are ready for although it's a busy time, but I just have to fix my activities to focus on you people. And if you people are serious and you are coming early, then I can give more attention also, because it's good when the student also, they have to encourage the facilitator. Not only the person is eager to speak, but the people who are going to speak to, they are not interested. They switch on their camera, they switch on their phone and go and do something else, or some day they don't feel they don't come, or some day they come. So some of those things also can be discouraging to a facilitator. Okay, so if we also are very serious and we come early, we can cover so many things. Okay, so please let us invite more devotees. Tomorrow is going to be the same time. There's no changing. Tomorrow is going to be the same time as I'm taking now. I'm going to take from chapter 10 to 12. It's going to be the same time every weekend, Saturday and Sunday. If there's going to be any change, I will let you know before the time, okay? But I pray that there will not be any change, okay? So, yeah, Krishna is saying, maybe do suraganaha, prabham na mahari shayaha, ahamadi devanam, marishinam cha sarvasaha. Okay, translation. Neither he, the nose of the demigod, nor the great sage know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. See, Bhagavad Gita is a very special book. I've not come in contact with any scripture where God is directly speaking to his devotee or friend like this. I've not. I'm still looking. Maybe if you find one, you can let me know. You can share the course with me in other scriptures. But only in Bhagavad Gita you will find this kind of strong statement about Krishna's, talking about himself. Because it's Krishna who is speaking here. So here he's saying, like I said in the beginning, he told Arjuna, because you are my friend, I'm going to give you the knowledge that is higher than what I've given you before. But now he's telling Arjuna, this knowledge I'm going to tell you, Arjuna, neither the host of the demigod nor the great sages know my origin or opulences. For in every respect, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. This is what I'm going to tell you. I'm going to tell you knowledge that even is very difficult for the demigods and sages to comprehend. Arjuna. That is why you see Indra became very offensive and tried to destroy the inhabitants of Vrindavan. Because he could not understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. He was bewildered. Same thing also happened to Brahma. He saw Krishna playing with his current friends, and one of Krishna's friends, Krishna, they were playing, and the boy, the friend of Krishna, because his mother gave him some special prasadam in his own special box. So he was eating it, alone. And Krishna went there and they slapped his mouth, and the thing came out from his mouth, and Krishna took it, and Krishna was rushing to eat it. When Brahma saw that, he became bewildered. He said, this one cannot be my God. Oh. How can he be taking something that is already contaminated and is eating? Nah. This is not God. He could not understand. He became bewildered. He became bewildered. He could not comprehend. That is why he told the cowherd boys and the calves, no. I'm going. Let me try him. No, it cannot be. So this is Krishna. When he's with his devotee, even the demigods and the sages, they become bewildered. They cannot comprehend what his activities and his pastimes. They cannot understand. And here he's saying, I am the source of the demigods and the sages. Krishna is the source of everything. This is the knowledge that Krishna is going to reveal to Arjuna. And much more. How is the source of, is now saying it, he's going to reconfirm it in text 10, text 8, 9, and 10. He's going to speak more about it. And he's going to, and the other verses also. Then Arjuna will, at the end also will now say, oh, yeah, Krishna, I realize what you are telling me. We are going to hear that more in these verses. Okay? So let somebody read the purpose so that we can try to understand from Prabhupada's point of view. Okay.
Purport. As stated in the Brahma Samhita, Lord Krishna is the Supreme Lord. No one is greater than him. He is the cause of all causes. Here, it is also stated by the Lord personally that he is the cause of all the demigods and sages. Even Krishna, they can understand neither his name nor his personality. So what is the position of the so-called scholars of this tiny planet? No one can understand why this supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes. Okay. No one can understand. Sorry.
Yeah, we are listening to you.
Yes, I think I've missed one step. No one can understand why the Supreme God comes to earth as an ordinary human being and executes such wonderful, uncommon activities. That scholarship is not the qualification necessary to understand Krishna. Even the demigods and the great sages have tried to understand Krishna by their mental speculations, and they have failed to do so. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, also, it is clearly stated that even the great demigods are not able to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. They can speculate to the limits of their imperfect senses and can reach the opposite conclusion of impersonalism, of something not manifested by the three qualities of material nature, or they can imagine something by mental speculations, but it is not possible to understand Krishna by such foolish speculations. Here, the Lord indirectly says that if anyone wants to know the absolute truth, here I am present as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. I am the Supreme. One should know this, although one cannot understand the inconceivable Lord who is personally present, he nonetheless exists and actually understand Krishna, who is eternal, full of bliss and knowledge, simply by studying his words in Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. The conception of God as some ruling power or as the impersonal Brahman can be reached by persons who are in the inferior energy of the Lord. But the personality of Godhead cannot be conceived unless one is in the transcendental position. Because most men cannot understand Krishna in his actual situation, out of his causeless mercy, he descends to show favor to such speculators. Yet, despite the Supreme Lord's uncommon activities, these speculators, due to contamination in the material, still think that the impersonal Brahman is the Supreme. Only the devotees who are fully surrendered unto the Supreme Lord can understand, by the grace of the Supreme Personality, that he is Krishna. The devotees of the Lord do not bother about the impersonal Brahman conception of God. Their faith and devotion bring immediately unto the Supreme Lord. And out of the causeless mercy of Krishna, they can understand Krishna. No one else can understand him. So even great sages agree, what is Atma? What is the Supreme? It is he whom we have to worship. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, thank you very much. So that is it. To understand Krishna is simply by studying the way we are doing now, hearing about him, studying about him. If not, not easy to understand. And we are very fortunate because we are on this path. Because we know, no everybody they are serving God in this world, but nobody know the God they are serving. They don't know. They don't know whom they are serving. They know that God is there in the sky, is there in the heaven, but they don't know anything about it. Even with Jesus Christ, there's so many speculation about his form now. Like a long time, not quite long. Putin came out and showed that Jesus was black. There's so many controversial, some controversy came. They are speculating so much about even the form of Jesus. But here we are very fortunate that in the Vedas everything is perfectly protected, and now we are getting the knowledge in Paramparam through the mercy of Srila Prabhupada. So we are very fortunate indeed. Okay, so let's go to test 3, where Krishna is going to give us further knowledge about how to know him. Okay. I'm trying to open it. My internet is a little bit slow. Okay. Are you seeing my screen?
Not yet.
Because I've not shared it. Let me share it now. This is a very interesting verse also. So Krishna is saying here in test 3, Yo mam ajam anadim cha. Sometimes we should learn some of these slokas. They are very sweet. They are very nice for preaching application for us. Yo mam ajam anadim cha. Beti loka maheshwaram. Asa moda asa marityeshu. Sarva papai pramochate. What is the meaning? He who knows me as the unborn, as the beginningless, as the supreme Lord of all the worlds, he only, undiluted among men, is free from all sins. You see what it means to know God? When you know God, you are free from sin. When you know God, the tendency to commit sin will be gone. You'll be free from sinful reaction. Not only sinful reaction, you'll be free from tendency to commit sin. Because knowing God is not cheap. Once you know him, a papa vidam, you become purified. So Krishna is saying, yeah, now maybe he's saying, sorry, I'm missing the shloka. He's saying, if you know me to be the Lord of all the planets, you mam ajam, know me to be unborn, you mam ajam. Just by reading the line, you can learn the meaning. Okay, let's go a little bit to Bhagavad Gita Sanskrit now. You see, yo mam ajam, if you know me, anyone who know me to be unborn, to be anadim, adi means beginning. Adi Purusha, the original Purusha, the origin of everybody. So when you see anadi means, it makes the beginning to be beginningless. Okay, anadim, yeah, it's beginningless. Okay, you say one who knows me to be the unborn and beginningless, Beti Loka Maheshwara, who is Beti means Loka. So, sorry, I say Beti means Loka. Beti means know, to know. So Beti is the verb in these first 2 lines. Are you seeing my screen? Let's do a little Bhagavad Gita Sanskrit. Sometimes when you know the shloka, you can translate it knowing the meaning from Prabhupada, because we have been studying Prabhupada's Bhagavad Gita, so we know little of Sanskrit, okay? See, when you are writing a sentence, it's like a sentence, okay? This Yo Mama Jam, he say, if one who know me, one who knows me, Beti, yo Beti, ma'am, you know me, yo Beti, ma'am, as what? Ajam, unborn, and Adim, beginningless, and Loka Maheshwaram. Okay? Loka Maheshwaram. What is Loka Maheshwaram in word-to-word translation?
Of the planet, the supreme master of all planets.
Yes. Loka means super of the planet and the master of all the planets. So, see, your mom, your Veti mom, your mom, that is, if you want to write it like in English, okay, it's like, your Veti mom, Ajam Anadim, and Loka Maheshwara. So if you know me, your mom, Ajam Anadim, Cha, Veti, in Sanskrit, they don't write like English. That is why it's like that, okay? But the Sanskrit scholar, they understand. So I'm trying to put it like in the way of written in English for you. That's why I'm saying, yo, Veti, ma'am, if you know me, as Ajam and Adim, Cha Lokama Esharam. So I'm saying it in English, so you're reading the Sanskrit. I hope you are getting my point. Yeah.
Yes, Prabhu.
You see, so your mom, that your Betty mom, Ajam and Adim, Cha Lokama Esharam. If you know me to be the unborn, to be beginningless, and the master of all the planets, what happened? The last line, the last sentence. What is here?
Asamuda.
Asa Mariti Eshu. What is the meaning of Mariti Eshu?
Among those subject to death.
Yeah, Mariti Eshu, Matia Loka. This material world is called Matia Loka, this earth. So if you know Krishna to be unborn, beginningless, that word beginningless is very difficult for many people to understand. That is why we have so many atheists among us. Because they believe that everything has a beginning. What is the beginning of God? Immediately you start entering that doubt. What is the beginning, origin of God? You become atheist. Because he's the beginning. He has no beginning. Okay? He's the origin. He has no origin. It's not, he's the origin of all. Sarva Karana Karanam is the cause of all causes. Ishvara Parama Krishna Sakshidananda Vigra. Anadi. Again, Anadi. Is it not the same word used? Is it not the same word? Anadi. Adi Govindam. Anadi, Adi Go. You see now, in that word, in Brahma Samhita, you see Anadi, Adi Govindam. Anadi, Adi. They use the two words together. Anadi means beginningless. Adi means origin. Anadi, Adi Govinda. Although it's beginningless, it's the beginning of all. That is Anadi, Adi. That is the meaning of that word joined together. Anadi, Adi is beginningless, but it's the origin of all. Anadi, Adi Govinda, his name is Govinda. Okay. So Krishna, so he said, Asamuda, undiluted in this material world, in this world of death. Sa E. Sa ha means E in if you want in Sanskrit to English. E sa E E in the world of death, this material world, Mariti Eshu, is undiluted. Pramuchate is delivered from all sin. Yeah, is delivered from all sin. One who simply understand that Krishna is the supreme personality. You see how important is it to understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of God? We have been saying it again and again and again. We are still repeating it. Many of us have realized it. That is the importance of saying it again and again. Only very few of us have realized it. We don't even, sometimes when we are in trouble, we forget God. We forget God. We start depending on our own intelligence. We don't even remember him. We don't know, we forget all this greatness we are hearing about him. We forget it completely. And it's again, that's why we are saying it again and again and again. And because it's very important. Unless you start remembering this knowledge when you are in difficulty, when you are in challenges, you have not understand anything. You may quote slokas, you may speak very like a learned person, but when you are in difficulties, when you face challenges, that is the test to know whether you really understand that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. That is the test. Any of us, we speak big grammars, we quote so many scriptures so that people can say we are very learned. But when we are in difficulties, challenges, we forget that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead. We don't depend on him. We start depending on our own abilities that will not even help us, and we become more frustrated. So that is why we are repeating it again, and that's why Krishna is telling Arjuna from the beginning, if you can know your mom, Ajam, and Adincha, Beti Loka Maheshwaram. Asamuda Samahishreshu. Sarva Papa Pramuchate. You see now, this is how you like shlokas actually. It's just little way I play around with that verse now. I've memorized it. Although I've memorized it, I'm just telling you how to memorize shlokas. When you want to memorize shloka, you have to play around with the words. Are you getting me?
Yes, Prabhu.
It's very, very important. See now, I'm not looking at the verse, but I can quote it for you. Can anybody quote it for me without looking at the book? The way I explain it. Krishna Bamini want to try.
Okay. Just the first line, the way
Okay,
you
if you can get the first line, I'm going to send you biscuit through the hair.
Okay, I like biscuits. Okay. Yo vetim ajam anand chaluka maheswaram.
Oh, very good. You started it the way I was explaining it, which is very nice. Okay, very good. It means that you grasped the explanation. Very good. Thank you. Yeah, actually, the way it is arranged in the Sanskrit is yo mam anad ajam, yo mam ajam anadim cha. Yo mam ajam anadim cha. Beti loka maheshwara. Do you get it?
Yes, Prabhu, yes.
Yeah. Yo mam ajam, I am unborn. Anadim cha, I am beginningless. Beti loka maheshwara. One who knows this, okay? Beti loka maheshwara, knowing this, that I'm the master of all the planets and the universe. Asa muda samariti eshu. Asa muda means undiluted. Im mariti eshu. In this world of death, what happens to him? Sarva papai pramuchate is delivered from sin. One who knows that Krishna is the unborn, is unborn. It's very important. Actually, the whole essence of we are studying of this scripture, the essence of whatever Bhakti we are doing, is this verse. To know Krishna. And we are going to see that Krishna is going to repeatedly mention this again and again in this particular chapter. Let's continue. Okay. We are not going to rush. I'm not going to rush you. I'm going to take you in a way that, if possible, if we can grasp the essence of each verse as we are going, I will be satisfied at the end. Okay? So I'm not going to rush you. So have we gone through the purport? You see how important 7.3 is? Are you seeing the purport? Are you seeing the purport? Can somebody respond?
Yes,
Yeah.
Prabhu.
Are you seeing how important 7.3 is? Prabhupada is quoting in just in beginning of the purport. Somebody can read it. Go ahead.
As stated in the 7th chapter, 7th text 3, Manusya nam sahareshu kashid yatati sadaye. Those who are trying to elevate themselves to the platform of spiritual realization are not ordinary men. They are superior to millions and millions of ordinary men who have no knowledge of spiritual realization. But out of those actually trying to understand their spiritual situation, one who can come to the understanding that Krishna is the supreme personality of Godhead, the proprietor of everything, the unborn, the most successful spiritually realized person. In that stage only, when one has fully understood Krishna's supreme position, can one be freed completely from all sinful reactions. Here the Lord is described by the word Aja, meaning unborn, but he is distinct from the living entities who are described in the 2nd chapter as Aja. The Lord is different from the living entities who are taking birth and dying due to material attachment. The conditioned souls are changing their bodies, but his body is not changeable. Even when he comes to this material world, he comes as the same unborn. Therefore, in the 4th chapter, it is said that the Lord by internal potency is not under the inferior material and is not under the inferior material energy, but is always in the superior energy. In this verse, the words Veti Loka Maheswaram indicates that one should know that Lord Krishna is the supreme proprietor of the planetary systems of the universe. He was existing before the creation, and he is different from his creation. All the demigods were created within this material world, but as far as Krishna is concerned, it is said that he is not created. Therefore, Krishna is different from the great demigods like Brahma and Shiva. And because he is the creator of Brahma, Shiva, and all other demigods, he is the supreme personality of all planets. Shri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. One must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in the knowledgeable of the Supreme Lord. Only by devotional service can he be known, and not by the other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. One should not try to understand Krishna. Yes,
Thank
Prabhu.
you. Thank you very much. Let us discuss a little bit before we continue in that particular statement there.
Okay.
Let's go back to that statement. Prabhupada mentioned, he say, one must be liberated from all sinful reactivity to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. No, before that, let me come back. Say, Shri Krishna is ever different from everything that is created, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reaction. So now let us discuss. It's mentioned here that Shri Krishna is therefore different from everything, and anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reaction. One must be liberated from all sinful activity to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Person. How can we understand this? It looks contradictory. Look at it. Read it again and again. I want us to discuss. Let's discuss. Discussion. Open your mic and speak. I want to hear your understanding. Read it again and again and try to explain to me what you understand. What you understood from that, let's speak. Let's open our mic.
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Jai, Prabhu, Prabhu, please.
Yes, Prabhuji, I would like you to retake that point for us to discuss.
Yeah,
Yes.
what I'm saying is that here it is mentioned that anyone who knows Krishna immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. Okay? This is what he said here. So anyone who knows Krishna becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. And he also said, one must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. How can we understand this? Let's discuss.
Hare Krishna. Okay,
Jai.
my understanding about this small paragraph is that to be able to accept Krishna as a supreme personality, you must have the mercy. And to be in that knowledge, to be well situated in devotional service, you still need Krishna's mercy to be able to, continue your devotional service. Hare Krishna.
Thank you. You tried. You really tried. Appreciate. I want somebody to give me small shastric evidence of this mercy. How does the mercy come? I want somebody to open the mic and speak. Let's speak. Krishna Baminio.
Krishna Prabhu, let me try. Okay, I'll read it again before I. Okay, one must be liberated from all sinful activities to be in knowledge of the Supreme Lord.
Yeah.
This is trying to say that, okay, only by devotional service can he be known, and not by the other means, as stated in Bhagavad Gita. This is said that
You didn't read the first statement so that you will not miss the point.
Yes, one must be liberated.
No, not that one. There's one before that one.
That is, the Shri Krishna is therefore different from everything that is created.
Yeah.
And anyone who knows him as such.
That is the argument start from that one. And anyone
who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful activities.
That is the
One
point.
must be, yeah. Okay, so what let
me explain to you so that you don't miss the point. He said, anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reactions. You see? Then he now, Bible again mentioned, he said, one must be liberated from all sinful activity to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. So how can we join these two together?
Okay, one must be liberated from all sinful activities. I'll try to go back to chapter 7, text 1. I don't know. I read it and I think the translation of the Sanskrit actually, I think a little bit in line with this one must be liberated. In the Sanskrit, Krishna said the Supreme Personality of God, the Supreme Personality of God has said, now hear, O son of Pritha, how by practicing yoga in full consciousness of me, with mind attached to me, you can know me in full, free from doubt. Now, in this particular line, even in one preaching BDD Swami was giving, he said, if you want to chant, you can't be thinking of sinful activities before you chant. So you have to attain some certain points of perfection before you can be able to understand Krishna as he is. In the ordinary sense of I would use the word coming. If you're talking to them, like you say, Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they don't understand because their mind is not open to understand Krishna. Their mind is not open to understand what Krishna is, how Krishna is, the form of Krishna, and why he even came in the first place. So if you want to understand Krishna, first you have to be liberated. Your mind has to be liberated. Your mind has to be free from all sinful activities before you can be able to understand him. And then immediately you understand him, just like when they say you have to worship Srimati Radharani to be able to catch Krishna. So immediately you understand that Krishna is the Supreme Personality of God, and he is God, then you've gotten Krishna, you've caught him, and then with that automatically you are liberated from sinful activity. So in order for you to understand him, you have to free your mind, you have to remove all sinful activities, because there's no way you can, for example, like I said, you can do japa and then you're thinking of maybe going to the club or doing anything. So in order for you to attain Krishna, in order for you to attain the Supreme Personality of Godhead, you need to free your mind. You need to be open to anything that comes. You need to be, let me use the word, you need to be concentrated. I don't know if that's
Thank you very much.
Broad enough.
Thank you for trying to convince us about this point. Yes, it's very important. This is this is understanding and preaching application. Because whatever you cannot preach what you don't understand. You cannot tell others about what you don't understand. Okay, so we need to understand the content. That's what I want us to really talk about it. Yeah, it's like Jamasami want to speak. She just unmute herself. Is Jamasami still with us?
I'm here, Prabhu.
You want to say something?
Well, I think Mother Krishna Bhamini have already said everything, but I'll just say in my own
she has already said everything, so we don't need to hear from you.
Krishna is there for different. Okay.
No. You just said that she has said everything now. Isn't it?
Yeah. Yes, Prabhu. Like she said my point, although she also said it in her own way. Yes, she said my point to a few there. Because so for someone to actually be thinking of Krishna, should want to know Krishna, his mind is already free. Like you've already removed your mind, you've already turned your back.
You people are using the mind free. What is freeing the person mind? Who want to free the person mind?
You are no longer all the contamination, all the whole materialistic contamination and everything. You are removing it. You want to know the Supreme now. You want to focus. You want to face him. So in that way, continue listening, learning about him and everything. You are already washing away all the contamination and everything. So when you get to that point, you are definitely liberated already.
Okay. Any other person want to say something before I say something? Who is here? Okay, thank you. Thank you for your contribution. So it's a very, very nice point, actually. It just came to me. I said, let us read, talk about it. See, Prabhupada said, but it says, anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reaction. One must be liberated from all sinful activity to be in the knowledge of the Supreme Lord. It looks contradictory, but there's no contradiction actually. Because there's this verse in Shri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Brahmanda Pramite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva Krishna Guru Krishna Prasade Bhakta Lata Bija. You know, Bhakti Lata Bija. It's mentioned in that verse, Brahmanda Pramite Kona Bhagyavan Jiva. We are roaming from one planet to another planet, going from a planet of Lord Brahma down to the lowest planet. We have been moving here and there. But when we become fortunate, Bhagyavan Jiva, Bhagyavan means fortunate. You become fortunate. When we become fortunate, then we meet a devotee on the street, giving us book. Hey, Prabhuji. No, Prabhuji doesn't know. Hey, hello, hi. Take this book. I want you to have this book, knowledge. Read about Krishna. You are not this body, you are spirit soul. You know. So, Bhagyavan Jiva, by the mercy of the devotee, by the mercy of the pure devotee, we get the mercy to understand Krishna. Okay? By the mercy of pure devotees of Krishna, we come in contact with the Krishna consciousness. Bhagyavan Jiva, when we become fortunate, how the fortune comes, no one knows. Due to some Agyata security we have gotten in our past lives, we meet a devotee of Krishna who is very compassionate also to share this knowledge of Krishna. You know, who has left his comfort zone to go outside to preach, who is not just enjoying chanting and comfortable just reading the scripture. He wants to go and save the fallen soul. He's very eager to bring more fallen souls to Krishna. So Bhagyavan Jiva Guru Krishna Prasade, when we become fortunate, we meet such devotee that they will introduce Krishna consciousness to us. Then by the mercy of that devotee, we start acquiring knowledge of Krishna now. So when you read that statement Prabhupada made, they say, anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reaction. Because immediately you get this mercy of devotee, you stop meat eating, fish, egg, and all those things. You stop illicit sex. You stop gambling. You stop, what is the last one? Somebody can remind me, who is following me that he will remind me?
Intoxication.
Intoxication. So by getting the mercy of the pure devotee, you give up this sinful life. That is the meaning of that, statement Prabhupada made there. By the mercy of pure devotee, we get Krishna, and by the mercy of Krishna, we get devotional service. That is what Prabhupada just put in that small thing that you are seeing. That is it looks small, but fully loaded. Okay, so it says, anyone who knows him as such immediately becomes liberated from all sinful reaction. Immediately devotee gives you the mercy of Krishna by giving you Srila Prabhupada's books, you become free from all you start following the four regulative principles, you start chanting Hare Krishna, you become free from principle immediately. Then, now you are studying Bhakti Shastri. You are studying the scripture. You are reading Bhagavad Gita, you are reading Nectar of Devotion, you are reading Nectar of Instruction. So now, that's come in line with the second line of Prabhupada. He said, one must be liberated from all sinful activity to be in the knowledge of Krishna. So by that purification you get from the beginning, by getting the mercy of Krishna, by coming in contact with pure devotee of Krishna, now you are getting to know more about Krishna, which will furthermore free you from all sinful reactions. And then you will understand that only by devotional service can he be known and no any other means. So let's continue the purport. Let's finish the purport. Please go ahead. I just want us to discuss that point.
Prabhu, to finish the purport.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. One should not try to understand Krishna as a human being. As stated previously.
Krishna is known.
Okay, I should start from there. Okay.
Oh, okay.
If
Start from where you
I
is it?
stopped.
Yeah, where you stop. Sorry. Okay. Yeah. Yes. You got it right. Continue. Sorry.
Okay. One should not try to understand Krishna as a human being. As stated previously, only a foolish person thinks him to be a human being. This is again expressed here in a different way. A man who is not foolish, who is intelligent enough to understand the constitutional position of the Godhead, is always free from all sinful reactions. If Krishna is known as the son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam when he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva. He was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. Anything done under the direction of Krishna is transcendental. It cannot be contaminated by material reactions, which may be auspicious or inauspicious. The conception that there are things auspicious and inauspicious in the material world is more or less a mental concussion, because there is nothing auspicious in the material world. Everything is inauspicious because the very material nature is inauspicious. We simply imagine it to be auspicious. Real auspiciousness depends on activities in Krishna consciousness, in full devotion and service. Therefore, if we at all want our activities to be auspicious, then we should walk under the directions of the Supreme Lord. Such directions are given in authoritative scriptures, such as Srimad Bhagavatam and Bhagavad Gita, or from a bona fide spiritual master, because the spiritual master is the representative of the Supreme Lord. His direction is directly the direction of the Supreme Lord. The Supreme Master, saintly persons, and scriptures direct in the same way. There is no contradiction in these three sources. All actions done under such direction are free from the reaction of pious or impious activities of the material world. The transcendental attitude of the devotee in the performance of the activities is actually that of renunciation, and this is called sannyasa. As stated in the first verse of the 6th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, one who acts as a matter of duty because he has been ordered to do so by the Supreme Lord, and one who does not seek shelter in the fruit of his activities, anashritaha karma palam, is a true renouncer. Anyone acting under the direction of the Supreme Lord is actually sannyasi and a yogi, and not the man who has simply taken the dress of a sannyasi or a pseudo yogi.
Thank you very much. So let's go back to the middle of the purport. If Krishna is known as son of Devaki, then how can he be unborn? That is also explained in Srimad Bhagavatam. When he appeared before Devaki and Vasudeva, he was not born as an ordinary child. He appeared in his original form, and then he transformed himself into an ordinary child. So this is a very nice argument Prabhupada brought up, because some people will say, oh, how can God have a mother and father? As a devotee, we all know that, God is the supreme source of everyone, but for pastime, for the pleasure of his pastimes, he accepts father and mother to reciprocate with his devotees. We all know these things. But there's another point I try to raise here, like Prabhupada mentioned in the purport. Actually, understanding Krishna to be the son of Vasudeva Devaki, if you can understand this content very convincingly, based on scripture, scriptural conviction, then you begin to understand who Krishna is. Because that is why in the beginning of Srimad Bhagavatam, yesterday started the opening of Srimad Bhagavatam by this point only. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Very nice point. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So Vyasadeva is the author of all the Vedic literature. All the Vedic literatures were written by Vyasadeva. Why the old Vyasadeva opened the very important Bhagavatam with this line, Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. This Vasudevaya is not talking about Vasudeva, the supreme God. It's talking about the No, it's not talking about Vasudeva, the father of Krishna. It's talking about Krishna being the son of Vasudeva. Sorry. He will have simply said, Om Namo Narayanaya. Everybody understood, that. Oh, Krishna is Narayan. Is the supreme God is Narayan. Om Namo Vishna or Vishnave or something like that. But why did he also say, let me offer my respectful obeisances to Krishna, who is the son of Vasudeva? Why? Because if you understand Krishna, as the son of Vasudeva, then you understand who Krishna is. Because you cannot explain about Krishna, you cannot describe Krishna without connecting him with his devotee. You cannot. Krishna is devotee. The devotee are very dear to Krishna, and Krishna very dear to his devotee. So that is why the whole Srimad Bhagavatam started with that, that line. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudeva. So when you say somebody is unborn and you say he's the son of somebody, it looks contradictory. So how do you understand? How do you marry this point? He's unborn, but he's the son of somebody. That is why probably bringing it out in the purport. Krishna say, I am unborn. But here we're saying, he's the son of Vasudeva, he's the son of Nanda Maharaj. How can you understand that? If you understand that, you understand Krishna. That is the meaning. That is why Krishna said, Janma Karma Chame Divyam. If you understand my birth, my activities, you will not be born in this world again. Just like you mentioned here, Sarva Papa Pramuchate. If you understand my birth, Janma, Karma, if you understand that they are transcendental, if you can understand this, so if you understanding Krishna means understanding these things. How Krishna is the supreme origin of everything, and at the same time, how he relates with his devotees. He becomes the son of Vasudeva, he becomes the son of Yashoda, he becomes the son of Nanda Maharaj. How can you understand it? If you can understand this point from the scriptures, studying the scriptures, then you know who Krishna is. Then you will never come back to this world again because you have realized who God is. It's not easy, but if you can do that, if you can understand this, if you can really be convinced about this, you are liberated from this world. No, that is what it means by knowing Krishna. That's why Krishna said at this point. Yo mama jamana dimcha beti loka. If you can know me to be unborn, at the same time I'm the son of Vasudeva. If you can understand this contradictory point about me, Jahama karma chame divyam, you will never come back to this world again. Then you know who Krishna is. Yeah, Stephen Govinda.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. Yes. So going through Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam, it is well understood that so many things have been put in place to deceive non-believers.
Deceive non-believers?
Yes, like to make non-believers.
Who is deceiving them? Let's talk.
Yeah, like Krishna appearing as a son of Devaki. If you are not a believer,
Krishna is not doing that to deceive non-believers, Prabhu.
Yes, but it's like things have been coded in a way that if you are a non-believer, you are simply going to think Krishna is an incarnation of Lord Vishnu, because that's what majority of the people believe, that Krishna is the incarnation of Lord Vishnu. But actually, Krishna is the origin of Lord Vishnu. So these codes that have been put in place to deceive non-believers.
No, nobody deceiving anybody.
Yeah, I don't know if I'm using the right word, but it's like you must get to some certain level of qualification to understand the scriptures.
Yeah, I want you to look that out. I want you to look for that right word and use. Nobody deceiving anybody.
Yes. So there are a lot of similar incidents.
Yeah.
Even Lord Brahma was bewildered at a certain point in time.
Yeah.
So all these I would say Yoga Maya is doing. How can one actually be situated that none of this arrangement, Yoga Maya's arrangement, can, or let's say Mahamaya, or I don't know if it's Yoga Maya or or Mahamaya. I don't know who is doing
Surrender to
this
Krishna. Krishna
particular
mentioned
job.
Bhagavad Gita. Prabhu, Gora Shakti Prabhu, he quoted that verse. Devi
Yes.
Yesha Kuna Mayi Mama Maya Durataya Mame Vaya Prapadyate Maya Metam Tarantite. You surrender unto me. Krishna mentioned Bhagavad Gita Sarva Dharma Paritaya Mame Kam Sharanam Braj. Aham Tua Sarva Pabebi Musha Yasimi Masucha. Surrender unto me. When you surrender to Krishna, when you become a soul fully surrender to Krishna, all these things will not be bewildering to you again.
Okay, my question is answered.
So the point is that we have to really learn how to surrender to Krishna. Surrendering to the will of Krishna. Because see, if Lord Brahma cannot even understand Krishna, how much more we? Lord Brahma became very puffed up when he went to Dwaraka. You know, because when he went to Dwaraka, and he told the security man that he want to see Krishna. The security went to Krishna. And Krishna told him, go and ask him which of the Brahmas. And he became puffed up. How can Krishna ask such a question? Is there another Brahma? Oh, no. Then he said, reluctantly, he said, go and tell Krishna, the father of the 4 Kumaras. Oh, immediately he came into the Krishna's, came into Dwaraka. Krishna was trying to receive him very nicely. He said, Krishna, wait. You have to clear my doubts before with this, all your wonderful reception. We have to clear my doubts. Is there any other Brahmans other than me? And Krishna just did like this. And so many Brahmans from different universes appeared. It's mentioned in Chaitanya Charitamrita, some of them have thousands of heads, millions of heads. And you have Shivas with thousands of heads, millions of heads, according to the size of their universe. And when he saw them, he became very humble. Chaitanya Charitamrita actually mentioned that he became like a rabbit beside an elephant. Just imagine that picture of rabbit beside an elephant. Imagine it in your head. You know what a rabbit is now, and you know what an elephant is. Just imagine the picture. He became like a rabbit beside an elephant. Became very insignificant when he saw the great opulence of Krishna. You can go and read this in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Because you are studying Bhagavad Gita doesn't mean that you cannot read other books. Go and read about the opulence of Krishna in Chaitanya Charitamrita. Very sweet. This is where you find the story. Very sweet. Go and read it. Okay. So when he saw this, he became humbled. He was humbled. And when the Krishna showed him all his opulences, he saw them. When all of them left, say Krishna, if people say they know about you, great sages and all of them, they are proud that they know about you. Let me give you my own conclusion now. My conclusion is that Krishna, I've not even started knowing about you. Now I can understand that your greatness is beyond my comprehension. Please forgive me. So to understand Krishna, it's not a joke. That is why he say, "Yo mama jamanadim cha veti loka asamuda asamaritieshu sarva papai pramut." Just to know Krishna, to understand Krishna, it's not joke. We have to give all our life, surrender our life for us to understand Him. Because people they spend all their life pursuing wealth, pursuing money to know God. You need a whole lifetime is not enough. We already passed our time. I'll just say Gorak Shakti Prabhu, his hand must be paining him because he has been raising it for a long time. So I will tell him to put his hand down and ask his question so that his hand will not be paining him again. Gorak Shakti Prabhu.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji.
Please.
Yes. Thank you very much. Then I would like to come back on the appearance of Krishna.
Yes.
That is, okay, he did not come in this world like any child, which means that when he appears, so the pregnancy of the Devaki disappeared, and then so he took the form of the baby, I don't know whether I'm right. It did not come out like a.
No, it appeared like it appeared in its full Narayan form, forehand.
Okay. So
It didn't come like a baby. It appeared full form.
Oh, yeah.
And Devaki and Vasudev, they say, "Oh, Krishna, how are we going to tell people that this is our child? You look big. You're not small. Please, you have to become small so that we can, okay? So see, Krishna, Devaki and Vasudev, it's not only that life that they have Krishna, opportunity to have Krishna as a child. Actually, they have that opportunity in previous lives also, because they perform austerity for many years as Prishni Garba and Sutapa. Okay, they perform austerity for many years because they are one of the progenitors. So, but they don't want to have ordinary child; they want to have a special child. So they perform so many austerity to please God. So when they were pleased Lord, they pleased the Lord. The Lord appeared before them. What do you want? They said, we want a child like you. So Krishna told them, you cannot have a child like me. There's nobody who can be like God. You cannot have a child. Except I become your child. You cannot have a child like God. So Krishna accepted to become their child. That is why they have that opportunity, because they perform austerity for many years to have God as their child. So Krishna appeared in different lives. Also in the Kashyapa and Aditi, they came as a Vamana, and also in Devaki and Vasudev, like that, Krishna. So like that, they got the opportunity to have Krishna as their child. So to develop that relationship, Vasaya Ras, when you have God as your child, it's only possible in the spiritual world, in Goloka Vrindavan, in Mathura. You cannot have it in Vaikuntha, in the Narayan abode. You cannot have that opportunity. In the Vaikuntha planet, in Narayan, you can only have God as master. Nobody have him as a child or no. This is only peculiar to the Goloka Vrindavan planet, where you have Mathura Vrindavan. That is only where you can have this opportunity. And that is why that planet is the topmost in the universe, in the spiritual sky. Okay, where Krishna have different rasa with his devotee. It's another subject matter. We'll discuss that next time. But now we have exceeded our time and we need to stop. And so thank you very much. Tomorrow, same time, and we stop at test 3 today. I will always encourage us to read before the class. Read the verses ahead of the time. You read 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Try to read as much as you can read before the class and take notes, so that when we come to the class, we can discuss based on your notes. It's very important, okay?
Okay, property. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. First of all, we want to register our deep appreciation for your willingness to act whenever you are called upon. Actually, this is the way of a preacher. We are trained in such a way that anytime we are called upon, even from sleep, we can give class and on track and with all relevance. So Kabikana Puraji is doing so well, and we need more such preachers. He's a natural preacher, and he enjoys doing it also. So me and him, we are standing by. For any teacher that slacks, we just put him aside and we take over so thank you very much for that. May Guru and Krishna continue to bless you.
Thank you very much for giving me the opportunity to serve. Doing studying the scripture of Bhagavad Gita with devotees is is the highest service you can get. It's not a very cheap service. So I'm very happy for giving this opportunity to serve, and I'm looking forward for the student to really study ahead of the class and come. Let us discuss. Let's discuss. Yes. Let us make it more interactive. Whatever you are reading before the class and you see the point. Let me go and ask Babu this difficult question. I want to see how you're going to answer it. Bring the point into the class and let's discuss.
Yes. We will not, henceforth, we are not going to consider the attendance as normal unless students are more than 12, at least 12. because on the whole we are up to 15 or more, but less than 10 attending the class. So it's poor attendance. We have to talk to ourselves to make sure that we are attending the classes very well. So thank you very much. Chintamani, you should reach out to Guneswara.
Okay,
Chintamani, probably reach out to Guneswara. If this is how he's going to do, we may advise him to become just a friend of this particular thing. He can come as a guest, but he will not ask any question, and he will not be part of those who are Baptist students in this session. So we are going to talk to all those who are playing truancy, so that we can drop them. We can know the actual students. We don't want distraction. We don't want ghostism. Yeah. So talk to him because we love him so much, and he's your friend. That's why we are telling him to tell him. We don't want to just classify him as a guest. Otherwise, we'll be forced to do so out of love. So that let him know his stand. And so I'm going to talk to many of the people here. We classify them. You can come as a guest, a friend of the Baptist Associate students. That you will not even have right to ask questions. Just come and listen and go. Because at that point,
I think you should have meeting with all the students that they are part of this program. Maybe you need to have a meeting with them and really talk to them, because I see some people, they start also and they live in between. Okay. So I think you really need to meet with the student generally, and so that we know those who are really in for this. Some people are just coming just to show their face and leave, just to show I'm there, and then they leave. And at the end, they will say they are there because they want to get the certificate. It's okay. So I think you need to have general meeting with them.
Yeah, we'll do so. And you should promise that you attend the meeting too. Do you promise?
Depending on the time you fix the meeting.
What time you give the time so that we can fix it accordingly?
It's 7 hours difference. So when you fix it, when we are the day, it's easy that for you fix it at time when we are sleeping already. So when we are in the day, if you fix it for when we are in the day, now like now we are in the day, so no problem.
Okay. So we can fix it.
When you fix it for anything from 4 o'clock upward, just know that I'm already in another world sleeping, in the sleeping world.
Okay. Okay, we shall do that within the week. Yes, Jamasam.
If I may suggest, I think the meeting should be held now that they are all here. So immediately after this class, we can actually hold the meeting and talk to them.
We have already finished the class. We have finished the class, except you want to call those people who are not here, because many of them are not here.
And those who are not here.
We have this student group where all the students are inside. So
I think you should stop the YouTube also. The master may stop the YouTube.
Okay, problem.
If you want to call them now, you can invite them. You can invite them. We just